So unfortunately, Doug couldn't be with us, but as many of you all will recognize me, my name is Carl Youngblood. I'm the CTO of Mainframe, and Doug's flight was delayed, and so I have to give his presentation. And so I'll tell you a little bit about Doug since he created these slides. So Doug really loves to breed cryptokitties, and he thinks that the main value proposition of Swarm is that it's going to make cryptokitties unstoppable. So Doug also recently had a second child, so he has a slide of that. And Doug is actually one of my favorite employees at Mainframe. And in fact, I like to think that Doug embodies all of the core values of Mainframe. As you can see, he is smart. He can be very serious when he needs to be. Just like our APIs, he looks good. And he's got a strong foundation that he's building on. So that's a little bit about Doug. So today, I'm going to present to you some of the work that Doug did, and quite honestly, I think he deserves a substantial raise after his work. And so we, meaning exclusively Doug, set out to build a reference dApp on top of Swarm feeds. So unstoppable in this context, really, to Doug, means that it's sufficiently difficult to stop such that restricting access effectively means removing access to an open internet. So just to get our vernacular clear, that's what unstoppable means in this context. So Doug wanted me to let you know that the code that I'm going to demo on his behalf is open source. It's free and open for anyone to build on top of, and was written during a bout of food poisoning. And so if you get into the code and things look a little off, things were off. So let's discuss from a high level the architecture that we have to build with. So here's a common use case for a Swarm feed. So you've got your Hello World website, and typically what you do, you'd upload it to Swarm, and that would be your first update. And then you come along and you don't have slides that correlate to what you're actually communicating. And so then you have your updates, and over periods of time, you have those updates mapped to the new content. And you're pushing up this whole new document every time. And most people are just going to consume this last instance of your document. So now Doug took this paradigm and he decided to turn it on its head. And so let's take time and make it vertical. And let's think about, what if we instead, since I can access any of those previous versions of my Swarm feed, what if each instance of the document was entirely distinct and unique and represented an event rather than an update of the entire document? So you would start with, in chat, we would create like a channel structure. And then you would create a user feed. And then you would want to update the channel structure to reference the user feed. This is analogous to adding someone to a channel in Slack. And then you would want a second user, so you're not just talking to yourself. and then you would want to reference that second user from the channel. So this is the architecture, and then people can then converse with each other, and then the client would use the timestamps to interpolate all of these events into time series data such that it's a normal chat client. So this was Doug's initial idea, and so he set out to build it. And so along with one of his colleagues, Paul, they defined a swarm feed chat protocol, trademark. So this is the metadata. So you've got your typical definition, and then the type of message it's going to be, any extensions that you're going to have, the timestamp, which is super important for clients, and then a pointer to the previous event, and then your payload. So this is the type of structure you're going to have in every single event, regardless of its type. So then we have our channel that I described earlier, and the important part here is both the name of the channel and the identities that you're using. And again, an identity is just going to be a pointer to user feed. And then this is what the event that is a message looks like. So this is what users end up posting to their user stream. And really, the only parts to highlight again are that important timestamp for clients and then the payload. And then optionally, we were very forward thinking and thought, maybe people are going to want to use markup. And so we have accounted for an extensions array that enables you to arbitrarily add features on top of what I'm going to present to you. So just to walk through it one more time before I'm going to actually demo it, we get our channel and we update it to our swarm feed, and then we take a user and we deterministically use the channel's swarm feed manifest hash to use the first 32 characters as the channel name that the user is posting to. So this is for clients to be able to deterministically know where to look for messages that are intended to be consumed in the same feed. And so then you're going to have to update your channel and actually add that first user. And then you do the same thing with your second user and update your channel again. So now we are ready to chat. And you have your events for chit chat. Okay? So you get the basic gist of the architecture. It's time to sacrifice something important to our demo gods. So let's go ahead and get out of Keynote. Yeah, perfect. And then we will first start Swarm. And then we will jump over to Chrome, where I have taken somebody else's open source project that was a chat type app and just replace the innards of it. So credit to whomever is referenced in the README of my repo. And so let's get started, shall we? So first thing you'll do is you're going to, let's make sure we have both of our, should have two windows up here. There we are. All right. Uh-oh. Oh, so close. Got it. All right. So let's start over here. We're going to create a channel. Let's call it Swarm Chat. And then I know that I'm going to need this information, which is, this is the key that this user is going to use to sign and push data to their feed. And so I hit join channel over here, and as long as that says channel name, I will type swarm chat. What's that? Oh, I wanted to make sure I have reference to all the data before I hit submit. And then here, I'm going to paste in the owner of the channel that's about to be created, public key, because I need that information to be able to find where this information, where the feed is going to be pasted. So I've set a default polling of every 10 seconds. And so you'll see this error, which is not to cause any alarms. I expect errors from my employees. And the reason that there's this error is because we haven't created the user feed for this first user. So hopefully I can just say, hello world, and then there we go. All right, and then we will send it on up. And hopefully in 10 or 20 seconds, an average of 15 seconds, you will see an update appear on this screen. Next, we will submit over here, which is going to create this user feed, and then it gives me this user feed swarm manifest hash, and I will come over to this window and paste in to have the owner of the channel now add this user. And so I will hit add. Hey, look, hello world. So as you can see, the client is working as expected. And again, I'll reiterate the bonuses that Doug deserves and has coming his way. So now, should I type something more unique so you know it's not like rigged? All right. Send that. And we are off and chatting in a very not so real-time way. This is analogous to using your Gmail for instant messaging type use cases. But I think that demonstrates everything of this Swarm Chat demo. So while it is the beginning, it's built directly on top of Swarm feeds. This is all open source, so fork away. And let's head back to the presentation and close up here. So, all right. Ever since being here in Prague, I've noticed my Face ID is not quite working like it used to. I don't know, does anyone else have that issue with their new iPhones? They're not as international as you might think. So Erebos, if you don't know what Erebos is, this is my invitation for you to learn. So Erebos is the client library. Erebos is the client library that we at Mainframe are working on building, and its goal is to make it easy to consume all of the Swarm things. So we have intentions to, here's a screenshot of the website, erebos.js.org. Did I get it? Yeah, I'm the CTO, what's up? So you go to this website, we've got beautiful documentation, and you can do many things except not yet Swarm feeds. And so we will be continuing to update this. As far as I'm aware, it's one of the most up-to-date Swarm JavaScript client libraries. We happily accept pull requests and collaboration on this. And so make yourself familiar with this tool if you're building on top of Swarm, because it is a beautiful piece of work. So that's all for me. Any questions?
Thank you, Carl.
You're welcome. Again, I'm sad Doug couldn't be here for this.
Any questions?
Great.
Thank you.